Tonight, the Rugby League Chairman Peter V'landys has sat down with our own Denny Weidler for a one-on-one interview. The hot topic of conversation, the standoff between the league and the RLPA.
Peter, who's this action that the players are taking? Who's it hurting?
It's hurting the game and the fans. That's who it's hurting. And you've got to remember, these people, the fans, turn up no matter the rain, the hail or storms, they come to the match and they're tribal and they follow those players. So you're really hurting them.
Why won't you just get in a room with a mediator like they want and sort it out?
We want to get in a room, but we want the existing mediator who's been there from the start. And that mediator was put forward by them, so it's their mediator. And he's now got all the information. He knows the game. He knows where people have given concessions. He knows the weighting of the concessions, and he's the best person to be the mediator. So we've said to the RLPA, we'll meet you anytime you want, but we want the existing mediator to be present.
Do you want Clint Newton out of the equation?
No, not at all. Clint's got a job to do. If they come to us and want Clint Newton in the room, that's fine. But what we want is a few player directors in the room.
So you want the players there?
We want the players there because they've got to listen to the negotiation, because there's a lot of misinformation.
The message has been wrong? Is that what you're saying?
I think the messaging is wrong and there's a lot of misinformation, and they should hear it firsthand, and then if they decide to whatever action, that's fine, and I will respect that. But at the moment, there's a lot of misinformation, and that's got to be corrected.
Are you a dictator?
No, look, I think there's a variation between strong leadership and dictatorship. You know, when they wanted strong leadership in COVID, we gave it to them. We started on the 28th of May. We were the first sport to do so. Is that a dictatorship? I don't think so. I think that's leadership, and you can't.
It's a shot at you. It's a clear shot at you.
And that's fine. I'm a big boy. I can take it. You know, I put myself in this position. No one else has, so I suck it up.
Peter, the players clearly don't trust the NRL.
No, I disagree with you. I think the players, a lot of them don't actually know the issues. If the players knew that they've got the best conditions and monies in the history of the game, if they knew they're getting a 37.4% increase, if they knew they've gone from 6 weeks to 9-week annual leave, if they know that we've got no intention whatsoever increasing the number of games, I don't think they'd be in a position where they are now.
What if Clint Newton walked into this room now? How long would it take you to sort it out, do you think?
If we couldn't do it in a day, I'd give it away, because they're not big issues. They're not, you know, if both parties came in here in good faith, you could settle those issues pretty quickly. Probably a couple of hours, to be quite frank with you. They're not massive. The big issues have been settled. The funds, the management of the funds, the total money to the players, the salary cap, the minimum payment, the holidays, all settled. These are minor issues.
Peter V'landys there with Denny Weidler. We should have got Clint Newton in the same room today. We might have had a result by the time this show went to air. What was your biggest takeaway from your time with him today, Denny?
Well, the fact that they're willing to sit down with Clint Newton, because there's been a lot of talk that they wanted him out of the equation, and also that he wants the players involved, and he reckons get them in the room, 2 hours, done. The major issues are already sorted out, according to Peter V'landys. I don't know if the players will necessarily agree with him, but the thought is that they can get this done quickly. And everybody's sick of it, James. We all want it to be cleared up. We're sick of the threats, the bans, everything else. I'm not taking sides on any of this, but I think that it's time that this did happen, and get the mediator in, get it sorted.
I understand what he says about. I think they have to use the existing mediator. I think to go and get a new mediator, it's
someone reset.
Well, you've got to reset the whole thing. They would have to go back and look over everything that's happened in the past 2 years, wouldn't they?
Yep.
They surely would have to. So I understand totally what he's saying. Get the existing mediator. I think that's absolutely fair enough. He knows the process that's happened. I think absolutely players need to be there. Players have to be in there to hear exactly what Peter V'landys is saying. At the end of the day, Clint Newton has said, I'm acting on behalf of the players. I do what the players tell me to do. So if the players aren't there, what are they doing? The players should absolutely be there. So I agree with that. The other thing I also agree on, unfortunately, I think there's a large percentage of the players that don't actually know what's going on. I absolutely do believe that. I believe there's senior players at every club that know what's happening. How much that's being filtered to the rest of the group, I don't know. As much as possible, I would say, but I think without a doubt that as many players as possible need to be there to hear what V'landys has to say.
Do you think it can be done that quickly, Gus?
Yeah, 2 hours max. That's with a meal included. meal included. Yeah. I've said all along, like I've been in this game 48 years. 48 years I've been in professional football. I've seen a lot of people come and go. I have been a supporter of the players all the way along. I survived as a coach because I supported the players. I survive as an administrator because I support the players. I survive in the media because I support the players and I really believe in them. I do not support the RLPA. I do not support these actions in any way, shape or form. The matters are too trivial for the actions and the unrest that we're seeing here at the moment. And they need to get this sorted out as quickly as possible. Players have never been better paid, better looked after, better cared for in any part of their career, and the rest of the stuff is just trivial posturing. I am not a supporter of the RLPA.
Gus, do you think that Clint Newton should be part of this negotiation anymore or not?
I don't care who the players put forward for the negotiation, but they have to act in good faith for what's in the best long-term interest of the game. It's as simple as that. And this is not in the best long-term interest of the game.
Well, Clinton, he has to be. He's the current president, isn't he?
He's the boss. Yeah.
He's the boss of the RLPA, so he can't not be involved. I just think he needs to be there, and there needs to be...
I think it's embarrassing we need a mediator. Peter V'landys runs the game. If he's the boss of the RLPA, those two people should sit down and
I agree with that, and I agree, but I can understand the players or the Players Association wanting the media there to make sure it's okay. I can understand that, but as I said, it has to be the existing media. They can't go and get someone new. They've got to get someone who knows the lay of the land already, and that's the existing media. So hopefully they can do that. And then obviously get in there with a group of players and get it done.
Just one final one before we all fall asleep. Danny, is there the sticking points? There's not too much detail on exactly where that stands. Is the international player payment for test matches, is that one of them?
It's part of it, and it's caused a lot of angst. Peter V'landys has been very strong on, he wants payments across the board. He's saying that the RLPA doesn't really want to back all the other nations so much, but the RLPA are saying that's not true. So it's a bit of he said in all of this. And look, I think that's one of the issues, and there are several issues. The sooner we just get this sorted, James, it's frustrating for everyone.
Should a kangaroo and a kiwi get paid the same amount?
Isn't that up to the governing body, the Australian Rugby League and the New Zealand Rugby League? Isn't it up to them how much they get paid? Well, why has it got anything to do with the RLPA? I don't understand that part of it.
Well, the RLPA seem to be there's a pool, from what I've been told, and they're worried about where the money's coming from. I haven't got all of the details of that, but it's where the money is being taken out from. That's what it's to do with. And the RLPA believe that it should be separate to what's already been negotiated, from my understanding.
And if you are playing for Australia, New Zealand, Tonga, Samoa, chances are you're coming from the National Rugby League, aren't you? Yep. Level playing field there. Anyway, we'll see where it all heads for now. Get Gus in the room. Get it done.